Well, reeds, and I'll show you, they come from bamboo, and you can probably see that the diameter of these two are quite different. And so this one, the smaller one, is for the oboe, which is right here, and the bigger one is for the English horn, which is over here. And so they each have their own sets of machines. But with this one, I'll take you through the beginning steps of this. You take the stalk, and then you cut it into 3 parts. And then, using this really cool thing that's called the guillotine for the obvious reason, then you actually size the cane. So let's pick it about this big. And then it goes into this cool thing called the pre-gouger. And as you can tell, this is a very messy process. And then from here it has to soak. And probably needs to soak for, I would say maybe 30 minutes or so. And so here's some that I've already soaked before. There's a piece in here. And so the piece actually goes into this thing, which is called a gouging machine. And what it's going to do is it's going to hollow it out so that this piece of cane will look like this. And gets all these cool, very messy shavings. And then from here, it goes on to this thing called an easel. And now I get a knife out. Let's see, I use this one. And I'm going to start scraping. And there's a line right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this piece of cane just like this. So even though it's a double reed, it actually comes from one piece of cane. And so then I'm going to take my razor blade again, since I figure out where it went. There it is. And now I'm going to make it look like an oboe reed. So this doesn't look like a reed. Here's a reed. So I got to make it look more like that. So this is going to go onto this machine. And of course, all of these things are really, really expensive. And this machine would cost about $1,000. The shaper tip, which is that thing right there. Oh, I know why it doesn't work. This is an English horn shaper tip. So the top part of these are actually interchangeable, but you can see the difference in the two. The one on the left is for oboe, and the one on the right is for English horn. And so everything's proportional. The cane is larger for English horn, but if you look here at all these reeds that I have out, these are the English horn reeds, and these are the oboe reeds, and you can see how much bigger they are. And you have to make a completely different reed. And these are oboe d'amore reeds, which is the middle instrument over there. So each one of these instruments has a different set of machines, and the good news is this part is interchangeable, so that once you buy the handle, you can actually take these apart, so you see that these handles are identical. So I have multiple tips, and I'll use a different tip depending on what the piece is that we're doing. So for instance, when I play English horn in the Nutcracker has many small solos. But because we're down in the pit, I need to be able to project into the hall from the pit. So I'll use a much bigger, so the diameter of the cane that I'll use will be much bigger on that reed, and I'll make a reed specifically for the Nutcracker. So all my Nutcracker reeds are right here. And I'll save those and probably get them out again when we play Nutcracker next year. But when I'm playing something that is much more sensitive, I'll use a different kind of a tip, and I have a filing system. You can see that even though they all come from using this silk thread, once I have them on here, they have different configurations. This is white thread with yellow, of course, and white with green. And I know when I made the reed, what the barometric pressure was outside when I made the reed, and what the diameter of the piece of cane was. And since I have multiple gouging machines, sometimes I even write down which gouger did I use. And all of this it's all very subtle, but it does make a difference in terms of the overall product for what the audience hears when they go to a symphony concert. There's a lot of work that goes into this, and all of us who play oboe in the orchestra, Beth Sanders and Stanley Chi and myself, all three of us do all of this all the time.